When I realized I knew absolutely nothing, my journey to become a professional copywriter really began. As a quiet, observant, and generally well-mannered student in high school, I got by in my classes. I was never an A+ student, and I did not have a 4.0 GPA. I hated the school system, but I enjoyed learning and did my best to maintain an above-average GPA. I meandered through my classes and did the work as required. I forgot most of the things I learned at my high school today, as I graduated over 10 years ago. However, one lesson I never forgot was a lesson about advertising and marketing. Before that lesson, it had never dawned on me that marketing was everywhere, all around me, and in every single facet of living. Books, magazines, radio, television commercials, billboards, signs, everywhere. I felt like that lesson was the end of my adolescence in some ways, when you start seeing things for what they really are, that the entire world has a product, and they want you to buy it. I also felt in some ways enlightened, like I had just joined a club, and they let me know their secret handshake, even though everyone in the class had been taught the same lesson, and everyone else in all the other classes were also taught these lessons. I still felt like I had just learned something deeply secretive. In some ways it was a secret, and in other ways it was so blatantly obvious I felt like a fool for never noticing. I wonder how many of my peers still remember that lesson today. Part of the final assignment of the lesson was to make our own advertisement, featuring one of the many persuasive advertising tactics we talked about during the class. I remember my business was a patriotic-themed bakery, featuring a delicious baked dessert called Red, White, and Blondies. Part of my advertising campaign included a donation to support American veterans with every purchase, and to feature my cute younger sister in my commercial. Both an attempt to appeal to the emotions of my consumers. How could you not support a brownie with a promise to support our veterans? And who would say no to a cute little girl selling brownies for our veterans? I mean, really, who would? How many people turn down those cute little girls selling cookies? It's for a good cause. Now looking back, I realize my product was a little cheesy and featured a little too many cliches, but I got the general idea nonetheless, and my assignment went well enough to elicit an A. I was happy, and we went on to the next lesson. The important part would not come until later. A few years later, I found myself a college dropout, twice, with a career at a fast food franchise. Perhaps best to leave them unnamed, but I went to their official university, where I could learn all about how to be a general manager for one of their restaurants. Think Yellow. General management in a fast food place. While some may look down on it, I did find it to be a very valuable experience where I was able to deeply develop an understanding about business that I do not believe I could have learned with a college degree, and for that I was grateful. More importantly, I remember I learned even more about marketing and how deeply the average person is affected by advertisements. I mean, a new product being advertised, people were bound to hit the drive-thru to try it. A new toy in the kids' meal, a specialty product being promoted by a celebrity. This was advertising at work, people. Back during the time I was learning about this in a small-town classroom, the internet was not nearly as immersed into our culture as it is now, and social media was just beginning to turn into what it would become today. Nowadays, every person on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and everywhere else has a service or a product or a class, and they want you to buy. Each of these people have something to sell to you, and sometimes that product is just themselves. A click, a view, a follow, a like. Those can turn into money for content creators, and in turn, generate a paycheck for them. That marketing and advertising lesson has proved to be an invaluable learning experience in understanding how to navigate today's space. Understanding the techniques and marketing strategies used still to this day to elicit a consumer to do something. Even just a view and a like and a follow are much more than they truly seem. Now, my personal opinions on marketing have evolved over the years, from insane curiosity, to despair and disgust, to distrust and unease, to a more moderate middle ground of understanding and appreciation, and finally to a level of respect and admiration for the way an advertisement can be crafted. Just like most things, there can be both a good and a bad side, a truthful and honest side or a deceptive and slimy side, and there can also be both. Things are never black and white, nor are they all good or all evil. Businesses can provide services to their customers and provide honest and excellent services, A social media creator can make content with good intentions in mind. An ad can be a useful tool to learn about a new product or to provide information about a service to a consumer who otherwise would not know about it. I think of this quote by Robert Evans and feel like it reminds me a little bit of the world of marketing. There are 3 sides to every story: your side, my side, and the truth. And no one is lying. Memories shared serve each differently. I feel like advertising lies somewhere in the middle. It's a tool that can be used for good, or a tool that can be used for evil. Intentions are very important in the world of advertising and the world of marketing. So my mission to become a copywriter began with those thoughts in mind. How can I provide a service that elicits positive outcomes and overall serves a purpose for the greater good, to be honest, and to be trustworthy? It isn't simply about selling a product to a consumer, but rather how can you tell the truth? To me, those are the most important parts of becoming a copywriter. And so my journey to become a copywriter began. I began learning, and today I am still learning. P.S. I still know nothing.